Hello, it's midday. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. It's also live on our partner stations across the country, and the news is also live across the globe on citynewsroom.com, Citi 97.3 FM on Facebook, and CityTube on YouTube. My name is Eno Safo, and this afternoon I'm here with
Kweku Ediamansa.
Coming up, members of Pensioner Bondholders Forum resume picketing at Finance Ministry to demand payment of 6 outstanding coupons.
I'm here again because the coupons have started getting into arrears. And we haven't heard anything from government.
Also coming up, 3 people hospitalized after nearly drowning in yesterday's floods in Accra.
Oh, it's very bad. Yesterday, there is very, very bad. The flood is too much. It always comes, but yesterday, there is too much.
Still ahead in the bulletin, former Secretary of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Bisu, withdraws one of his suits against the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And later, the Association of Ghana Industries cautions government against the removal of taxes on imported sanitary pads. We'll get stakeholder reactions to the AGI's position.
So our position is that instead of achieving the objective through the removal of duties on imported finished goods, rather pass on that benefit to local manufacturers.
All that and more on the Citi Prime News, which is live on our partner stations in the Western region. We're live on our Jimpa 100.7 FM in Takwa, Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Bono region, we're live on Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyang. In the Ashanti region, Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi. Also in the Ashanti region, Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, you're listening to us on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajewu, VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we're live on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East, Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the Upper West region, Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for choosing us. Let's start with a story. Members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum have resumed picketing at the Finance Ministry. The protest is to demand payment of 6 outstanding coupons. This follows a 2-week suspension of their protest to allow government settle 4 principals and coupons. Although government has honored its commitment to paying the principals, 6 more coupons have matured since June 5. Dr. Edu Ananientri is convener for the Pensioner Bondholders Forum.
I'm here again because the coupons have started getting into arrears. We thought the assurance given by government the last time we met, when the government asked for 2 weeks to pay the outstanding principals. At the time, it has started paying the outstanding coupons up to 29th. So we said, well, we will allow you to do that. And we got assurance that day that government has instructed the Controller and Accountant General's Department to prioritize the payment of our coupons. I don't know the meaning they have for prioritizing a payment. If that instruction has been given to the Accountant General, then we believe as soon as it is due, it was going to be paid. At that time, June 5th one was outstanding. The next week, there was no due coupons. Then, last Monday, 4 more coupons, making it 6. And we haven't heard anything from government.
That was the convener for the Pensioner Bondholders Forum, Dr. Edu Ananientri. Let's go over the phone lines and speak to my colleague Charles Osukumi, who is with the pensioners at the Finance Ministry where the picketing is happening. Charles, thanks for joining us. So members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum, they're protesting the demand to demand payment of 6 outstanding coupons. Have they told you whether they have heard from the finance ministry since they resumed their picketing?
Um, thank you very much, but they have not received any communication from the finance ministry since they resumed picketing today. 2 weeks ago, they met the ministry. They were picketing again, and they were asking for the payment of some outstanding principals, about 4 of those principals, and some coupons also. So the ministry asked for 2 weeks to settle the principals. That we're told the ministry has honored its promise. The principals are being paid. Now, this new series of picketing, because there will be another one tomorrow, is to demand for the coupons that have matured, that have been due since June 5. The pensioners have resolved that the coupons usually mature. They are due on Mondays, and so they give government 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, to settle the coupons, because they said that's what they live off. It's like their salaries. And so when they are due, they expect government to pay within the 3 days. If that does not happen, they have Thursday and Friday. They'll use those days to picket and grant from the demand for those coupons to be paid. So 6 of the coupons are now outstanding since June 5. There were 2 on June 5. Last Monday, 4 of them matured. And from Monday up until now, government has said nothing to them. And so that's why they were there today to demand for the payment of those.
All right, Charles, what will happen this time round? Will they continue picketing throughout till next week? How are they doing it? Will they only picket on Thursday and Fridays?
Yeah, the picketing is only on Thursday and Fridays now. Like I said, the coupons, they are due on Mondays, and they have resolved to give government 3 days to give the order to the Bank of Ghana and to do all the paperwork. And so by Wednesday, they expect that the monies be paid. But if the monies are not paid on Wednesdays, Thursdays, they intend to pick it. And that's for every time a coupon matures, because the fear is that if they don't do this, the coupons would overly accumulate. And there was a time where there were about 16 coupons outstanding. They don't want another situation like that. So this time, every time a coupon matures and government fails to pay, on Thursdays and Fridays, they will be at the finance ministry to pick it. I asked the convener, Dr. Diana Nyanchi, about their demand for interest payments. They have said that they are taking that matter as an administrative injustice, and so they intend to petition SHRAJ, because when the principals mature, their contract with government ends. So government is expected to pay the matured principals. But before the coupon principals that were outstanding, they were outstanding for more than 3 months. And if you keep someone's money, according to them, in the capital market for more than 2 weeks, you're expected to pay some interest on it. And so that's why they intend to petition SHRAJ. They have written a letter to the finance ministry informing them of their intention to go to SHRAJ. That was last week. They have not received any response from the ministry. They said they've given the ministry some time to respond to that letter. Depending on what's contained in the ministry's response letter, they will make that decision to officially petition SHRAJ or not.
All right, Charles, tell me about the numbers. What are the numbers looking like for the pensioners in at the front of the ministry?
Today, the numbers were a bit lower than usual. I guess probably because they took that because of that 2-week break, they gave government to settle their principals. The numbers were a bit lower than usual. There's about 20. Usually they get about between 30 to 40, but there were just about 20 of them today who came around. They said that by close of today, government does not begin the payment of the 6 people outstanding that we got tomorrow. So we don't know what the numbers will look like tomorrow, but they weren't as usual for them today.
Thanks for that update. Charles Osukumi is my colleague who is with the members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum who have resumed picketing at the Finance Ministry. Kweku.
Now, 2 Ghanaian graduate students of Clemson University in the United States of America have died in a car accident. The victims identified as Abna Jemfo, a 31-year-old graduate student majoring in English, and Alberta Odra Quote, a 23-year-old graduate student, were involved in a fatal crash on June 18, 2023 in South California in the United States of America, according to multiple media reports. In a press release, the Graduate Students Association of Ghana, USA branch expressed its deepest condolences to the families, friends, and loved ones of the deceased.
Now, 3 persons who were rescued by community members after they almost drowned in flood waters at Peacetown, a suburb of English Yamanfro in the South municipality of the Greater Accra region, have been hospitalized. Hundreds of residential apartments have been submerged in the municipality as a result of Wednesday's downpour. After a rigorous search, all 3 persons, who include a mother and her 2 children, were rushed to the hospital as they were in critical condition. Some residents who spoke to City News about the havoc caused by the flood blame the lack of proper drainage for the problem.
Yesterday, I went to work. Before I will come down, I see that there is a flooding. So this flooding, every year we're experiencing this flooding here. Every year, every July. See, me and my son, we are going to school. When this flood areas, how we go to do it? So our leader, they should help us because we are voting. I vote. So they should help us so that they will do something about it. Otherwise, before you realize you all will die here, you can't go to work. Even how to take care of our family self is hard because me, I'm a taxi driver. So if today I didn't go to work, how the family are going to survive? So they should help us. You see my son, he's writing exams. So I have to force and cross the water before go to work. And he's going to write the exam. So they should help us. We are suffering here. In Sanitary, we are not getting disease. We are voting. Our MP is going to help us. We are suffering here.
Oh, it's very bad. Yesterday, there is very, very bad. The flood is too much. It always comes back. Yesterday, there is too much. So we are pleading to the government to help us.
Unfortunately, yesterday, the rain, and then it flooded up. Our bridge and then so on, our road has failed. So we need our elders to come and help us. Please, we are dying here. Those who are near to the environment, the water is flooded everywhere. So please, I'm appealing to them to come and help us.
Those were some residents of Peacetown, a suburb of English Yamanfro in the South municipality of the Greater Accra region. Let's go over the phone lines and speak to Central Regional Correspondent Calvis Tete to tell us more. Calvis, what have residents been saying exactly happened? How did the people get into the floodwaters?
Well, yesterday, after some hours of rain, yesterday the rain started in the central region around 9 in the morning through some portions of the Greater Accra region, English Yamanfro, which shares border with the central region. And so these residents around Peacetown is a community in Yamanfro in the South municipality. The residents were in their homes when the rain started. So
Calvis, we're getting feedback from you. Could you reposition yourself and continue?
Apparently, this woman and the children were in their house when the rain started. So after the rain came down for a while, they saw that the area was completely flooded, the Peacetown area. So the woman, in an attempt to take 2 of her children, including herself, from their home, led to them falling into the rainwater. So residents around just rushed to their homes to rescue them. But quite apart from the woman and her two daughters, there were also about 10 individuals who also got drowned. So community members who had organized themselves just went around the various homes trying to see if people are stranded. So they went around and they were able to rescue 13 out of the lot. So 13 people who were rescued yesterday, they are safe now. For the woman and her two children, they are the English Amman from hospital receiving treatment because, they were stuck in the rain for quite a long time,
The three who were hospitalized, do we know their condition?
Well, this morning I spoke to some people from the hospital. According to them, they are responding to treatment. But, interestingly, the residents around Malaysia, Amman from Peace-Town area, are worried that the assembly has not done dredging in the area for quite some time now. According to them, they normally do dredging every year. So they believe the lack of dredging this year has resulted in the flooding when the rain came in yesterday,
According to one of the residents you spoke to in the voice I played earlier, they said authorities know about this situation and yet nothing has been done. And this continues to happen each year. Have you been able to speak to any of the authorities and what have they been telling you if you have?
Well, when the incident happened, we tried to reach the National Disaster Management Organization who came to the area. They refused to speak to us. But what I picked up was the fact that, they said they were supposed to have done dredging, but then the dredging has not been done. That is the reason why the area is getting flooded. NADMO has come to the area to the rescue of the people in that community. As we speak, they are trying to, put pieces together to ensure that people who are living in places that are dangerous move from there with the intention that the rains will still come.
All right. Many thanks for that update. You heard me speak to Calvis Tete. He is our central regional correspondent. Still on floods, residents of Ewusijo in the Ahanta West municipality of the Western region, whose homes were this dawn flooded after yesterday's downpour, they are appealing to the National Disaster Management Organization to come to their aid. The affected residents, led by the assemblyman of Ewusijo, who told City News their houses have been taken over by flooded water and properties destroyed, also blamed the flooding on Galamsey activities on the banks of River Butre, which passes through the community.
We turn our attention to some other stories now. The Ghana Hajj Board has explained that the decision to reschedule the final flight for the 2023 Hajj pilgrimage is to ensure the inclusion of pilgrims whose documentations delayed. The final flight for the pilgrimage, which was scheduled to leave Accra today, has been rescheduled for Saturday, June 24, to provide ample time for the processing of all documentations. A little over 400 pilgrims are expected to leave the Kotoka International Airport in Accra for Jeddah in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on the fifth and final flight to participate in the Hajj exercise. Now, the chairman of the Ghana Hajj Board, Ben Abdallah Banda, has been speaking to City News.
We collect passports from pilgrims, we process the passports, then we apply for visas from Saudi Arabia directly. Now, some of the passports didn't come in at the same time, or majority of the passports didn't come in at the same time. They trickled in bit by bit. So as of yesterday, we still had some passports that were being processed, whose visas had not come out yet. Okay. We had also scheduled to have our last flight today. So what it would then mean is that if we were to go today, a lot of people will not have gone because their visas will not have been issued. So what we've decided to do is to stop collecting passports. So as I'm talking, we are not collecting passports anymore. We want to ensure all the passports that have been collected are completely processed and issued with visas, so that all of us can move the same day, the same time. We are left with just one flight, which is the sea flight. We have so far done 4 flights.
So you heard there the chairman of the Ghana Hajj board, Ben Abdallah Banda, speaking.
Let's go to the courts now because former secretary of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Bissiou, has withdrawn one of his suits against the office of the special prosecutor. Lawyers of the former presidential staffer revealed in court this morning that they have instructions from their client to withdraw the application seeking to quash an arrest warrant that was issued against him by the OSP. This comes a day after Charles Bissiou reported himself to the OSP and was arrested, interrogated, and granted bail. Meanwhile, there are two more cases from Charles Bissiou against the office of the special prosecutor still pending. The two are a human rights case where Charles Bissiou is raising allegations of human rights abuse and another challenging the powers of the office of the special prosecutor to investigate him despite being cleared by the Ghana police. Let's go over the phone lines and speak to court correspondent Hanson Ajaman to tell us more. Hanson, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us about this case where Charles Bissiou has withdrawn one of his suits against the office of the special prosecutor.
So we know that Charles Bissiou is being investigated by the office of the special prosecutor, one for his alleged corrupt activities in the Anas Armia Anas expose, which Anas Armia Anas himself petitioned the office of the special prosecutor to investigate him. We also know that the office of the special prosecutor has also instituted a separate investigation into the activities of the then Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining and some individuals who used to man the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, such as the former chairman of this committee, Professor Frimpong Boateng, and as well as its secretary in the person of Charles Bissiou, are persons of interest as far as this investigation is concerned. And so the office of Charles Bissiou basically has been going to court in an attempt to try and get the office of the special prosecutor to halt all forms of investigations into his role as secretary of the Committee of Interministerial of the Committee on Interministerial, the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. Now, Charles Bissiou's argument basically is that when it comes to the particular video that has been made by Anas Armia Anas, the Ghana Police Service have already investigated him and cleared him. And as a result, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has no hands in investigating him again. And so the pending two suits are with respect to the role of the office or the powers of the special prosecutor to investigate him when the Ghana police has cleared him. Now, the office of the special prosecutor indicated to us that Charles Bissiou was invited, for which an arrest warrant initially was issued for him based on the second investigation, which is the office's own investigations into the activities of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. We know that based on that, Charles Bissiou went to the court to seek an injunction or to quash that arrest warrant and got an interim injunction, which essentially lasted 10 days. But yesterday, Charles Bissiou reported himself to the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and as reported by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, his arrest record has changed from wanted to reported. And when he reported, we have been told by the Office of the Special Prosecutor that he was arrested, he was interrogated, and he was granted bail. And so since he himself has reported himself, then it means that there's no need for the arrest warrant. And so flowing from that, when the case was called today in court, Charles Bissiou decided to withdraw the arrest warrant, the application to quash the arrest warrant that was issued by the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
All right, Hudson, we're very grateful for that update. Let's stay in court a while longer because prosecutors in the Kwesi Nyantakyi case have been given a lifeline to get its house in order or risk getting the accused discharged. Now, Omar Sanda Amadu joins me in studio. He's my colleague here at Citi and the host of Eyewitness News. Now, from the courts, we're picking up info about Anas Armeya. Anas, what have we gathered?
Yes, thank you so much, Eno. So you recall that Anas did some investigation into judicial corruption. You recall the issue about judges who allegedly took goats and other forms of bribery to set people free and so on. One of the judges at the time was not happy with the expose, insisting that he was innocent, and he decided to fight that case in court. Now, the judge's name is Benjamin Yao Ose. He was part of some 20 judges of the lower court who were dismissed after the Anas investigation into judicial corruption. This was after a committee was set up. At the time, he was a judge at the Juabin Circuit Court in Kumasi, or in the Ashanti region. The allegation was that he released someone after collecting a bribe from them. It was part of the video that was produced and published by Anas Armeya Anas. He insisted that could not be true. His lawyers went to court and argued that the information as reported by Anas could not have been accurate because the said suspect was actually convicted and imprisoned. So there's no way he could have taken a bribe from that person to set the person free. The disciplinary committee of the Judicial Council at the time did not hold in his favor or held against him. He went to the Human Rights Division of the High Court, which affirmed the decision. But he said he still wanted to fight because he believed that he was innocent. So he appealed to the Court of Appeal. Now, it is the Court of Appeal that has finally determined in his favor. And this morning, the 3-member panel, chaired by Justice Senyo Jamefe, presiding, overturned the decision of the High Court. So what that means is that he has a case now, according to the court, and the judgment potentially means that he may return to the courtroom as a judge. His sack may be reversed and he would be returning to the courtroom. So that is just a story that we are picking from the Court of Appeal. Benjamin Yause, a judge in the Circuit Court Division at the Juabin area in the past, who was part of the 20 judges or so who were sacked for their alleged bribery or collection of bribery under the Anas Armeya Anas expose. So that's the story we have from the Court of Appeal.
Thank you very much. Umar Sanda Amadu is my colleague here at Citi. Still on Anas, though, the prosecutors in the Kwesi Nyantakyi case have been given a lifeline to get its house in order or risk getting the accused discharged. This comes after the state failed to file witness statements and call its first witness in the criminal trial faced by the former president of the Ghana Football Association for alleged offences captured in Anas Armeya Anas's number 12 expose. The court on May 17 ruled that Anas Armeya Anas, who is a key witness for the state, will always have to reveal his identity in chambers to Kwesi Nyantakyi before he testifies in open court, disguised in his mask. However, Anas, in a statement revealed that he will not be able to make himself available to testify under such conditions for security reasons. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live on 97.3 Citi FM. Still to come, the Association of Ghana Industries cautions government against the removal of taxes on imported sanitary pads. We'll get stakeholder reactions to the AGI's position. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday update you on all the running stories, and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, a group of civil society organizations has besieged Parliament in demand for the removal of taxes on sanitary pads by the government. The group says the 12.5% VAT and the 20% import tax on sanitary pads have increased the prices of the item, making it impossible for women who represent 51% of Ghana's population to afford them. Speaking to journalists, the spokesperson of the group, Amaprat, said the groups will not relent on its efforts to have the taxes scrapped by the government.
This is about the taxes on sanitary pads. We are saying that it needs to go away. We can't continue something as basic and, humanity at its core, at its base, like periods. I mean, of all the natural things there are, this is the most natural. You can talk about condoms. I've heard arguments about condoms. Somebody can choose to use a condom or not. I've heard people talk about giving birth, childbirth. I'm like, you can choose to have a child or not. When it comes to periods, I mean, as a female, as soon as you hit a certain age, whether you want to or you don't want to, you will have your periods. There's no choice here. It just is that natural. So, I mean, taxing sanitary pads at best is unquestionable. It's something that should not happen. And we are not just talking taxes, we are talking luxury taxes. I mean, what is luxury about wanting to manage your period? And here, I hope you permit me to be as graphic as I can. This is you making sure that you don't walk around literally bleeding and having blood oozing. So if you want to tax that, then let's look at all the effects it has on Ghanaian women.
Amaprat is the spokesperson for the group of civil society organizations who have besieged Parliament to demand for the removal of taxes on sanitary pads by the government. We'll bring you more on that from Parliament in a while. But the Association of Ghana Industries, they have cautioned government against the removal of duties on imported sanitary pads. This comes in the wake of Ghanaians and some civil society groups calling for the removal of taxes on sanitary pads to enable young girls of school-going age to afford it. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Chief Executive Officer of the Association of Ghana Industries, Seth Chum Akwabwa, advised government to rather exempt tax on the importation of the raw materials used for manufacturing sanitary pads locally.
The local manufacturers, I don't think as of now they even have a 30% market share. The market has gone down for them for over the past year. If you listen to those agitating for the removal of the import duty at a cheaper price, so they can afford. So it's more of accessibility to the product, and they think that the way to do it is to get it reduced in terms of price. So that objective, we also agree. But we think that the way to achieve that objective is not necessarily reducing the import duty on imported finished products. Rather, we can look inward and see, can we look at what is happening the local produce to make sure that their production cost is lower so that they can also reduce the price and still have the same objective. And if you import the raw material today, you pay duty on it, you pay back on it. When you pay duty and back, it makes the price expensive because it's a cost that you must necessarily pass on to the consumer. The moment you do that, then it means that you are not competitive. Meanwhile, those agitating for the removal of the duty, they are not talking of removal of duties on raw material. They say remove the duty on imported finished products. So when you do that, you don't even tackle the raw material. What happens? You are actually putting the local producers at a very disadvantaged position. So our position is that instead of achieving the objective through the removal of duties on imported finished goods, rather pass on that benefit to local manufacturers and ensure that the local manufacturers also pass on the benefit to the consumers in the form of lower prices. It's a very simple thing, and I think that will protect local industries and keep people in jobs.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the Association of Ghana Industries, Seth Chum Akwabwa. Let's go over the phone line, still on the matter of taxes on sanitary pads, and speak to our parliamentary correspondent, Ni Ayikwe Okan. Ayikwe, many thanks for joining us. Earlier, we mentioned that a group of civil society organizations had besieged Parliament in demand for the removal of taxes on sanitary pads by the government. Tell us about this.
So this morning we saw quite a number of women at the presence of Parliament holding placards which demands that the government scrap taxes on sanitary pads. And this is a key item for women when it comes to menstrual hygiene. So the women say that the taxes, particularly luxury taxes, having to do with import tax and then also value added tax on the sanitary pads, are making the item, very unaffordable for them. Hence, the need for government to scrap the taxes on these sanitary pads to make them affordable to women, to help them to be able to keep themselves neat when they are in their menstrual, period. So that was what took place at the premises of Parliament this morning. The group planned on meeting officials of Parliament to present a petition, but they were actually asked to, hold on while engagement is done with leadership of Parliament before they are able to meet them. Initially, they all wanted to come into Parliament, but the security prevented most of them and allowed only four leaders of the group to, engage the leadership of Parliament on the concern that they had. So that engagement was a closed door meeting, which was not open to the media. But their main concern was that Parliament ought to act to ensure that government scraps the taxes on sanitary pads, which is making it impossible for women to afford sanitary pads.
Aikwe, tell us, are the protesters still there or have they dispersed?
Now they've been dispersed after their engagement with, the information we gathered off record was that there was an engagement between the leaders and the Speaker of Parliament himself, Speaker Alban Bagbin, on the matter. But as to the outcome, we have not been briefed on that yet. But for now, they are not available in Parliament.
Thank you for that update. Ni Ayikwe Okan is our parliamentary correspondent, still on pad taxes, and in response to the AGI's position, chairpersons for the Lady Pharmacist Association of Ghana, Lucia Ade, backed the AGI on their call.
First of all, yes, small companies, the local ones that manufacture have VAT exemption for raw materials and packaging materials. Like I said, this is to help us grow, so that we can be able to maintain the medicine security of the country. We can improve, we can invest in research and development and things like that. And it's really helping. So we do have, even for some finished products that we don't have the capacity for, there is the LI, the legislative instrument 2255, that also supports some finished products to have VAT exemptions. And it is really helping. It's been able to make medicines more affordable. The price have been sustained for a couple of years, even with all the economic issues. And so it is fantastic. The second point is AGI being reasonable in this request? I would say yes. I'm saying that this yes because I'm the chairperson for LAPAG, Lady Pharmacist Association of Ghana. And we have been able to do some work when it comes to the menstrual hygiene space. So I'll give you an example. Last year, we wanted to buy 10,000 pads. We negotiated with some of these manufacturers. We're going to get at 3 cedis per pad. So for 10,000, we're going to spend about 30,000. Fast forward this year, we are doing the same thing, and then we have to pay over 100,000 for the same number of products. We didn't budget for it, so we have to cut down. Some of the regions are calling us, especially in the Upper West and things like that. We need thousands of pads, and we cannot afford it. And then when I also go for some of these outreaches, I get the feedback from the young girls. There are young girls that stay at home, they can't come to school because they don't want to sell themselves and be, shamed at. There are young girls who are sleeping around to be able to afford some of these essentials. It is not a lie. Some of them are getting pregnant. Some of them are aborting unsafely. Some of them are contracting sexually transmitted infections. Some of the guys even tell us that we are spoiling their business because some of them buy pads, keep it in the room. Some of these girls visit, and after the interaction, they give them the pads and other essentials. So it's important for us to be able to make pads affordable so that a girl child can stay in school and learn, focus. They can be motivated not to sleep around or do anything else, but stay in school and learn and become who we want them to be. We don't want them to get pregnant and, fall out of school. And of course, that comes with its own challenges. We don't want them to contract any sexually transmitted infections, because that also comes as a burden to government and to all of us.
That was the chairperson for the Lady Pharmacists Association of Ghana, Lucia Ade. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live on 97.3 Citi FM. Still to come, motor riders in the Akachi South municipality declare a sit-down strike following the shooting of one of their members in the municipality. We'll bring you the details shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The biggest business festival in Ghana is on. Mark your calendars this June as we bring you the Citi Business Festival 2023. The running theme for this year's festival is Make It Ghana. It's going to be a month-long conversation on how to grow, improve, and expand your business with seasoned industry experts. Join the weekly business forum every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. live on Citi TV for discussions on various thematic areas each week, beginning with Week 1, Reimagining the Digital Economy. Week 2, Building Resilient SME Brands. Week 3, the changing phase of the Ghanaian retail market. And Week 4, Understanding and Leveraging Agribusiness Value Chains. Also, tune in every weekday at 9:05 a.m. for the Citi Business Festival On Air series on the Citi Breakfast Show on 97.3 Citi FM to acquire the information you need to kickstart and strengthen your business. There will be a lesson for every business on the Citi Business Festival 2023 this June, only on Citi TV, 97.3 Citi FM, citibusinessnews.com, and on CNR Digital. The Citi Business Festival 2023 is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM in partnership with APSA and is proudly sponsored by MTN Momo and MTN Business with support from GESL.
Out of over 10 million Ghanaians employed, only 1.9 million are actively contributing to SNIT. For most people, their retirement plan is either their children or savings. What if your child is unable to care for you? Long life depletes your savings, or you suffer permanent disability. Financial support from loved ones in your old age is a blessing, but you should not rely solely on them. Whether you're a fashion designer, an online entrepreneur, a lawyer, or a business owner, today, life is good, but tomorrow may be different. Register with SNIT and sign up for SEED for old age pension, invalidity pension, and survivor's lump sum benefit for your nominated dependents. Take control of your future. Eyo Udachio, for no pest now. Dial *711*9# to pay your contributions. Contact SNIT on 0302 611 622 or on socials at SNIT Ghana. SNIT, we deliver on our promise. T's and C's apply.
SSNIT. Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Cattle farmers and butchers in Kaswa, located in the Owutu-Senya East municipality, are taking proactive measures to address consumer concerns following an alleged case of anthrax infection in the area. The Environmental Health and Sanitation Unit of the Owutu-Senya East Municipal Assembly recently confiscated meat products suspected to be contaminated with anthrax bacteria at the Kaswa New Market. City News' Fauzu Masaudu filed the following report read by Kweku Eduamansa, highlighting the impact of the outbreak on the cattle market in various parts of the country and the preventive measures being implemented by stakeholders to contain its spread.
On 1st June this year, the Upper East Regional Directorate of the Ghana Health Service announced an outbreak of the deadly anthrax virus. 11 individuals were infected and at least one death was reported in the Bindudi district as a result of consuming meat from deceased cattle. To prevent further spread, the Upper East Regional Coordinating Council imposed a ban on the movement of ruminants in Bansi in the Bindudi district and Sapeliga in the Boko West district. The ban also includes the sale, slaughter, and consumption of these animals for a month. Despite efforts to combat this potential epidemic, some individuals have been found in violation of the ban. Recently, the Environmental Health and Sanitation Unit of the Owutu-Senya East Municipal Assembly confiscated suspected unwholesome smoked beef at the Kaswa New Market. The meat was discovered to have been transported from Boko. Rabi Mohammed, a veterinary officer at the municipality, led the confiscation exercise and provided an account of the incident to City News.
We were here last week when I had a call from the police station, that's Kasua New Market Police Station, that the environmental reported a case that a woman brought a meat from the Upper East region. So we rushed to the market and then asked the woman to provide the permits. The veterinary officer who gave her the permit to bring the meat. So we called our head office, our big men, and we were asked to destroy the meat. So we destroyed the meat and we gave it to the environmental to go and dig a pit. You have to dig a very deep pit and then you bury it or you burn it with a tie. So that's exactly what we did.
She also outlined the measures the Assembly is implementing to ensure the safety of the cattle market for both sellers and buyers.
Doing meat inspection at the abattoir and at the same time taking care of the animals, injecting them, vaccinating them when they are not in good condition.
So how often do you vaccinate the animals?
We do it yearly. We have the CBPP vaccination for the cattle. That's the large animals. And then we have PPR vaccination for small ruminant. That's the sheep and goat. So we do it every year. Yes. And we also issue movement permits. When customers come to buy animals from the livestock market, we issue movement permit for them. We inspect the animal if they are in good condition for them to go and slaughter or either to go and rear it at houses.
The anthrax outbreak has had a significant impact on the livestock market, as evidenced by the situation at Kasua New Market Abattoir. Musa Issa, the chief butcher of the area, acknowledges that it is not business as usual.
The outbreak of the anthrax disease, coupled with the current economic turn, has taken a huge toll on our business. We have lost over 40% of our customers due to the fear of contracting the disease. But we want to assure everyone that the Kasua New Market Abattoir is safe.
However, he assures consumers that they are committed to keeping the ruminants safe from anthrax and other diseases. He urges buyers to look for veterinary certification on meat products before making a purchase.
Don't Kasua Nkezo Abattoir muna da environmental muna da veterinary. Inka kawo dambanka an anti-moting.
We have environmental and veterinary officers who conduct frequent checks before the livestock is approved for the market. Every ruminant that is found unhealthy is confiscated immediately. Just a few months ago, my cattle were burnt because they had contracted an infection that posed a threat to consumers.
Rashes there's okay. Chicken shanu. Veterinary go down rashes no one dey affect. Yes, somebody an code shanu gaba daya. Wurin chicken shanu in ka diba kaga cikin abin ga shanu ga kaga stamp nan. Ghana veterinary, Ghana environmental. Su duka sun certify kamar naman nan 100% kamata je market.
When you come to this market to purchase any meat product, look out for a certificate or receipt from the environmental and veterinary officials to be sure they are safe for consumption.
Don't they kayan ka shanu an baka receipt from abattoir apart from stamp. An ka baka wannan receipt nan ka duba date is current one ka sai nama.
To gain insight into the process of ensuring cattle safety, we visited Musa's ranch at the Kasua Cattle Farm, the largest in the municipality. He explained the process of vaccinating the cattle and preparing them for the market.
When
the livestock is transported into the farm, we keep them at this place for the veterinary officials to conduct an ante-mortem on them before they are slaughtered, and after they are taken to the abattoir, the medical officer conducts a post-mortem to check if they have no infections in their inner parts. This is because some of the ruminants appear healthy, but once they are slaughtered, you find out that they had some hidden infections in them.
His colleague Suleiman Abdallah expressed similar sentiments.
Since we've received the news, our market has been very slow. You know, in Ghana, when there are news of that kind of bad news of sickness, especially affecting food commodities, sometimes the price of that particular commodity goes down. And in fact, really, we are really affected because since the outbreak of that particular news, we are not seeing the customers to buy our animals like we used to see. The population or the customer, coming has gone down. So it is really affecting our business here.
He also appealed to the government and relevant authorities to support to ensure regular vaccination of cattle.
The outbreak of this particular disease has really awakened us. But our plea, especially to our government, especially Ministry of Agric, those days they used to help us in this kind of vaccination. But in fact, for some few years now, it is not coming again. And sometimes the vaccines are not common. It is not easy to go into the market and buy them, but you have to go through the Ministry of Agric or that kind of thing. So we are on this particular issue. We are using this opportunity to call on the Agric Ministry sector to pay attention to this particular farming sector. They should come to our aid because we need this vaccine to always survive and prevent this particular outbreak of diseases.
Anthrax is a rare but serious zoonotic disease caused by Bacillus anthracis. Its impact on human and animal lives is severe and should not be underestimated.
City News' Fauzu Masaudu filed that report, and it was read to you by Kweku Ediama Ansan.
Now, about 100 animals have died since the outbreak of anthrax in the Upper East region. Information gathered by Citi News reveals that 12 out of 15 districts in the region have recorded dead animal cases suspected to be anthrax. The districts include Binduri, Garu, Boko West, Bongo, Talensi, Garu Tempani, and Bogatanga municipality. Now, the Boko municipality, Bulsa North, and Pusiga districts have each recorded 2 cases, while the remaining 2 districts, which is Bongo and then the Kasana Nankana Municipal Assembly, recorded 1 each. Over 23,000 animals have since been vaccinated. Now, the Upper East Regional Security Council indicates that the ban on the sale and movement of ruminants is still in force. Let's do more stories. And the telecommunication network Airtel Tigo has changed its brand name to AT effective today. Now, the name change will apply to all its sub-brands, that is AT Money, AT Business, AT Premier, and AT Insurance. All trade materials reflecting Airtel Tigo will subsequently change to reflect the new brand name AT, whereas the brand colors will remain the same. Announcing this move at a media roundtable, the Chief Executive Officer of Airtel Tigo, Leo Skalatos, said the change is only applicable to the brand name and logo and will not impact its management structure, products, and services.
Be able to clearly identify that the company formerly known as Airtel Tigo has now become AT. This company now lives up to our brand promise and constantly strives for simplicity. So the name AT perfectly encapsulates that simplicity, and we hope this will resonate strongly with all of our customers. This AT rebrand signifies an important new phase for our company, one that emphasizes our commitment to providing exceptional and simple telecommunication services. This name also embodies our dedication to simplifying life and making communications more accessible for everybody. So we'll continue to offer the same innovative products and services that our customers have come to know and trust. So the name change applies to all the sub-brands, like I said, and you can see all our sub-brands around this room as we go. And we want to make sure that we reassure all of our customers, suppliers, and various other stakeholders that the good quality and simplicity for which we stand isn't changing. It's just our name that's being changed as we embark on this new journey.
So you heard there the Chief Executive Officer of Airtel Tigo, Leo Skalatos.
Motor riders in the Akachi South municipality of the Volta region have declared a sit-down strike following the shooting of their colleague who doubled as a mobile money agent by unknown assailants. The incident according to the Okada riders, has caused fear and panic amongst them, hence their decision to embark on the said action. In a City News interview, convener of the concerned motor riders in Akachi South Municipality, Edem Donko, says they want an increase in police presence in the municipality to control such criminal acts.
We passed through the town and we went to our DC, and as we went there, we turned around, we traveled to Accra. So from there, we came to the nearest police station to see our commander. As we see the commander, we talk with commander and you hear what he says to us. From there, we see the family and we come back. So that is all. So today, we are not working our motorbike in Akachi right now. The motor riders, we park the bike. We are not working over here today. So that's all we are doing in Akachi right now. We want our elders. We want our elders to tell the commander that we need the police, more police in the town, so that we, the motor riders and people who are working or people who are in the house, to be safe.
Edem Donko is the convener of the concerned motor riders in Akachi South Municipality of the Volta region. This is the City Prime News, which has been live from our studio here in Adabraka in Accra. Stories we've brought you so far. Members of Pensioner Bondholders Forum resume picketing at Finance Ministry to demand payment of 6 outstanding coupons. We also brought you 3 people who were hospitalized after nearly drowning in yesterday's floods in Accra. Also, former Secretary of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Bisu, he's withdrawn one of his suits against the Office of the Special Prosecutor. We also brought you that story where the Association of Ghana Industries have cautioned government against the removal of taxes on imported sanitary pads. And we heard from the Lady Pharmacists Association on their reaction to that news. The news was live on our partner stations in the Western region, Adrimpa 100.7 FM in Takwa, Beach 105.5 FM in Takoradi. In the Bono region, Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyang. In the Ashanti region, Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi. Also in Kumasi, Orange 107.9 FM. In the Volta region, Revival 99.3 FM in Tajawu. VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we were live on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East, Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. In the Upper West, Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Drapa 96.1 FM. My name is Inosaf, and I was here with